All right, wonderful. You're at the right place. This is the 5 tasks that you should automate in 2024. And my name is Kendall Matthews. I am the head of marketing for ElectroNeek. Now, I'm going to give you the agenda on this next slide that you're going to see. And it's going to be very important for you to know that we're going to talk about who is ElectroNeek. We're going to introduce our new feature for you, and then we have a live demo of those 5 AI RPA tasks that you should automate. Now, I'm going to make sure that we let you know who's speaking today. So that next slide is going to show you Diego and wonderful picture. So Diego, let's tell the folks who you are, how long you've been with ElectroNeek, and kind of about your experiences working with our prospects and customers.
Thank you, Kendall. Well, my name is Diego Ferreira, and Solutions Engineering Manager at ElectroNeek. I have been working in the automation space for the last 2 years. I have experience with different prospects, current customers, and I also have a background working with the infrastructure space in the IT, so working with support and a lot of different areas. So that's my experience, and I can be sure that with 2 years on this automation area, I think that I have learned a lot, and I have a lot to show you also here.
Most definitely. We want to make sure that we're showing you the things that you want and the things you need. So I do have a poll question for you. So we're going to share this with you. As you're answering the question, I want to make sure that you understand who is ElectroNeek. So go ahead, Gustavo, show that a poll for everyone to see. So as you're doing this poll about what automation challenges or roadblock is your organization currently facing. So go ahead and put in the comment section, like, what automation challenges or roadblocks is your organization currently facing? We're going to give you some time to answer that. And while you're answering that question in the comment section, that's going to be helpful as we continue to craft our message for you. But who is ElectroNeek? So simply this, we work with humans and software bots working together to help you and make sure that your business processes are managed. And we do a lot of this with our AI and RPA integration together. Now, we are a top 10% companies based upon their Inc. 5000. We were number 404. That's a 404. That's not an error. That's us. And what's great about this is that we are here for you. And that's why we're so proud of being able to serve our prospects and our customers in the things that we're doing, especially going into 2024. Now, our Intelligent Automation Pro platform has a lot of things for you to be able to do. We're 5 times faster with the development. We're a G2 crowd leader for multiple years. And what we're really, truly proud of is that we're truly that no-code platform with pre-built bots. And something that a lot of people really ask us, like, wow, why? I love your business model. And that business model is pay as you go, no bot licenses. We don't do any of that for you. That's why we're the #1 RPA breakthrough for the AI awards that we do, because we are really focused on how we can help our customers grow and making sure they're growing very, very rapidly with what's going on nowadays. But I do have another poll question I want to pop up here for you. And this question is going to help us as we continue to build out all the content that we are wanting to have for you. So this question that we're going to pop up and show right now is give you this opportunity to ask us. So go ahead and pop up that question, please. What Diego is going to start talking about is our newest feature that we have. And it's going to be great for you to really understand how to capitalize upon this, especially as you go into 2024. And what we do is going to show you exactly how to use it and show you the different things about it. So go ahead, Diego, talk about IntegraBots.
Excellent, thank you. So this is about 5 tasks to be automated in 2024, and we'll be using IntegraBots, which is our newest feature that we have introduced. What is IntegraBot? IntegraBot is our integration platform as a service. It is already integrated with more than 150 SaaS applications. So we are talking about SaaS applications like the ones that you can see at the right. We have a lot of logos in there. We're using in this demonstration some of them. This is a solution or a platform that everything is online. So the canvas where you create your automations is in your browser. It's very simple, no code, step-by-step interface. You'll see that live with me. You can build bots in minutes. It's also important because it runs in the cloud. So you don't need any kind of infrastructure to run your bots. Okay, so that's very important and a good differentiator. Good, so let's continue with the 5 tasks that we'll be automating. Some of them I'll be creating them live. Some others I will show you the bot already built and I will go through it and show how it works. So we have one of the bots is about the first one about processing of financial data. We are talking about how to manage information. In this case, we also have a second one for customer and management notification. I will show you how to create notifications in a process. Management approvals, processes. I think that all of you in your company has too many approval processes in the different units in your organization. I have one example to show you, but that will be as a base for any other kind of approval process. The good things here is that we are also integrating AI in the process. Okay, so this will be a mix of approval from the AI. A bot can approve things automatically, or maybe the human needs to get in and approve manually. We also have, an example of how we can integrate with CRM systems. Very quick and simple example. That's something that we are actually doing in production in ElectroNeek. And also the last one is about customer support and ticket processing. Okay, this is what you'll see in the next section, in the live demo. Okay, so let's jump into the platform. So it's demo time. I will show you the platform. Everything starts in our portal. You can see this is the first page that you see when you log into our platform. Our platform is divided in different hubs. We have here the automation hub. You see all the elements you need to create automations. And you also have service hub that you can get support from ElectroNeek. So in this case, we are focused our examples on IntegraBots. So I'll enter in IntegraBots right now. Let me refresh because this session was open for so long. We will see the interface of IntegraBots. So what are we seeing here? We are seeing the flows, which are the bots that we are creating. So here is the list of all the bots we have created. We have also a runs tab where we can monitor if our bots are running, and we can see also information about what happened in the run. Okay. And we also have a connections tab that we need for every integration. So every time that we need to connect to an application, a SaaS application, we need to establish a connection, and all the connections you have, you can manage from this place. Okay. So let's start with the first creation of the first bot. In this case, I'll do registration of invoice payment. Okay. Basically, what we'll do is we'll check for emails coming with notifications that an invoice was paid, and we'll update that information in a spreadsheet. Okay. So let me initiate the creation of the bot. We'll start it from scratch. Okay. So one of the characteristics that IntegraBot has is it has 2 types of activities that we will be using in our workflow. We start always with a trigger. Okay. And in this case, we'll trigger it using a connection to Gmail. So we are checking for incoming emails. We need to select a trigger, new email. Okay, let's select the connection. I already have a test connection for IntegraBots already created. This is a Gmail test account. And we'll look for a subject. So we don't want to start with any kind of emails. We are looking for emails that the subject are payment notice. Okay. So this is what we are looking for. Then we need to establish, okay, what else we want to check? The first thing the last thing that we want to check over here is we want to make sure that the email that we are reading is unread. Okay, it's a new email that has arrived. So let's select it, and then we can test this connection. First, before continue, I want to show you first the email account that we are using. Okay, you can see that we have already a payment notice that is informing that we received a payment for this invoice number, and then the date where it was paid. The spreadsheet that we are using to register this payment is over here. The name is pending payments. You can see that we have a list of 4 invoices with the amount, the due date. We have a flag to set if it was paid or not, the payment date that we need to update if we receive the notice, and then information about the customer, including the phone number. This will be using this for the second example. Okay, so now you need to figure out that we are paying this invoice, and this is the work that we'll automate right now. So let's go back to the IntegraBots. Let's test and load the information from here. You can see the connection was successful. This is a characteristic of IntegraBots. Every step that we'll add in this flow, we'll have to test before leaving to the next activity. And that also will help us to test every step with information that we gather in the test of the previous one. Good. So what's the next step that we'll do? We want to analyze the information to extract the payment information using OpenAI. Why I'm using OpenAI? Because I'm expecting that the content of the email is a structure. So we are not using a structured way of giving the information. We are just receiving an email saying, hey, I have paid this invoice. The reminder that we are receiving or the information notification that we are receiving could be from a human. It could be from another system that is configured to send us an email every time that we receive a payment. Or we can also try to replace, if we have, for instance, Stripe, and we are receiving payment from Stripe, we can replace this trigger for Stripe. Okay, for this example, I'm using Gmail. Okay, in this case, I will use the Ask ChatGPT, and I will create here a prompt to extract the information that I need from that email. So I have to connect to my OpenAI in IntegraBots. Most of the connections that we are seeing are made by single sign-on. Some others requires a token or API key that you can get from the SaaS application that you are connecting to. It will depend on the application, but it's not that complicated. Okay, next step for OpenAI, we have to select the model. We can see all the models that are available for my user. In this case, I will use GPT-4. Actually, it's the most important part of configuring this activity. So for those who are familiar with ChatGPT, what we need to do is to provide a good prompt to get the response that we are looking for. In this case, I will copy the prompt, and I will insert that over here. In this case, you can see that I have put some placeholders that I replace with information coming from the email. So the prompt is, you receive the following payment notification. This will be the body of the email. So let me select from here. This is how we use the previous result of the steps. So this is a message, and the body is in the snippet. Okay, so once I click it, you can see that it's already included in my question or in my prompt. Then I ask him to return the date, the invoice number, and pay amount in the following CSV format. One of the important things when working with AI is that you need to be clear of the output that you are looking for. So we are being very specific, okay? So we are asking for the date, the invoice number, and paid amount. Look at this. This is separated by comma, okay? And then we go back again and say, return only the result. We don't want to have any text on it or explanation. We just need the information that we are asking for. And we are also telling them to format the date in the way that we want, and that the invoice number without any kind of symbol, because if you remember the email that I just showed you, there is a number symbol before the number itself. So we don't want that. We want to have just the number, and we want to express the amount in this format. Okay, this is basically what we are giving to the AI. Then we need to establish a temperature. We used to put .17. Basically, this will manage the creativity of AI for replying you with an answer. Okay, so this can be from 0 to 1. So being 1, the most creative. Most of the time when we need to work with this kind kind of activity where when we need some specific data, we tend to use the lower values. In this case, our default for almost everything is 0.17. But if you are writing, for instance, a blog or article or LinkedIn articles that you want to be more creative, okay, you can elevate this temperature higher and you will get more beautiful answer that maybe is well for someone to read, okay? But in this case, we don't want to have any of that. Good. So this is all that we'll be setting here. Let's test this activity. This should be analyzing the information that we have before in the email and get a response. Okay, good. It was successful. And you can see that we have exactly what we want. We want the date of the payment, the invoice number, and the amount. Okay, so we are good to continue. Another step that we'll use is just to prepare this information that GPT is giving to us to be read by the next activity more easy, because we want to be able to select or the date or the invoice or the amount. So for that, I'll use another activity, which is CSV. We want to work with this CSV, convert it to a JSON. Don't get distracted by JSON, which will go, this is program, so this is Java. Forget about that. This is just an auxiliary step that we are doing to select the result, okay? And we are indicating that this is comma separated, okay? That's all. And let's test it and you'll see now why we are doing this. Can you see here the results? We can now have it separated. So in an easy way that we can select or the date, the invoice number, or the amount. Good. So the next step, we have the information. We need to go and connect to Google Sheet and mark first, search where is the invoice, and then set the pay flag and the pay date in the spreadsheet. So next step, let's use Google Sheet. Down here, we'll look first for the register. So let's find rows. Over here, we need to select the connection. We already have pre-established connection to the same account. And we need to select now the spreadsheet that we are connecting to. So let me select the pending payment. This is the spreadsheet that we are working with, pending payments, okay? And the sheet is the default, sheet 1. There is nothing that we can do over here. Good, so now we need to select which is the column that we need to look for, in this case, to search, okay? So we need to look for invoice number. So we have the invoice number, so the best way to find where to update the information is looking for the invoice number. And then we need to specify which is the value that we are looking for. In this case, we'll search for here the auxiliary activity that we have seen. So this is why the reason why we are doing this, because we can select the invoice number over here. Then it asks us about, okay, what is the starting point to start searching? And we'll set it as a number 2 because the first is the header. And how many rows we want to go through. I will put here a higher number, so to be sure that we can go through all of them. And that's all. We can test it right now. So remember that we need to test every activity that we are using. Good, we have here. It found it in the row number 5, and we can see here all the fields that we have in that row. So which is the invoice number is the first one, you can see. Then we have all the other fields. We need to update the D, and we need to update the E with the date. Good. So now let's update the row. Okay, so we found the register, so now we need to update the row. We also use the Google Sheet activity over here. So let's select it. Let's check the action. In this case, we'll be updating a row. We need to select the connection that we already have set up. The spreadsheet, which is pending payments. And the sheet, which is sheet number 1. Okay, so now we need to establish, okay, which is the row that you want to update? The row that you want to update was here in the find rows. We expand here the row, okay? So this is the number 5. The other important thing that we're setting up here is that we are telling that the first row has the headers. So let me activate this. in order to have all the columns listed here. So it's more easy for us to put what we need to update. So we say that the page flag is one of the first things that we need to update. Where we get this information from here. Okay, let's expand it. Here is the pay. So here we need to put that it's true because we received the payment for this one. And the next thing is the payment date. And now here is where we need to find out the date. So this is the date that we obtained from the email. So it's duplicate twice. Okay, so this will be the date. And that's all that we need to set up here. Good. So let's test this. Remember that we don't have any information, set up for the payment date. Now I will test this one and you'll see how this works. Good. It was successful. And let's see the results in the spreadsheet right now. And you can see that it was updated to true and we have the date. Good. So perfect. We have finished our first bot. I can rename this bot for bot 1. Okay. So we cannot confuse. This is also important that we can also test the flow directly from here. If not, we need to publish it and that will be executed when a new email has arrived. So you can see the information over here, everything was updated. Good. It's very important because you can see if you want to check or analyze the result, you can go step by step and see which is the result of each step. You can see that the output of Ask ChatGPT was this one, the find row with the number 5, okay, and the updated row, the information with the success message. Okay, so this is very important, very useful to look at. Okay, so that was the first bot. What we have for the second one? The second bot will use, and let me go back to this scenario with the integral bots. Let me explain what we'll do with the second one. So now we want to notify our customers if they have pending payments. Okay, I will do that sending a notification through SMS to the phone number that is on this spreadsheet. Okay, so that would be the second one. It's very easy to do, and we are integrating here not only Google, Gmail, spreadsheet. We are also integrating Twilio. Okay, for those that do not know Twilio is a platform that allows you to connect with different platforms to send messages. Okay, in this case, we are using a trial account from Twilio, and we are sending SMS messages to the phone number. Okay, so in order to show you the results, I will connect my phone and you'll see my phone mirrored on the screen. Okay, so let's start with this creation of this bot. I will go again. So let me refresh just in case we lost any kind of connection. Good. Let me add integral bots over here. Start from scratch again. And in this case, I don't want to trigger this bot through an email. Okay, so I want to remind my customers that they have a pending payments at the regular basis. So we can put here a schedule. So this bot will launch every time that I want to do it. Okay, so let's select the schedule here. Then we can say, okay, I want to inform them daily. Okay, not at midnight. I don't want them to hate me. So I can establish another hour, could be 10 a.m. Then I will choose which time zone I want to use this. Let's set up this in Vancouver. And that's all. So I have it already set up. Good. Then the next step that I do, I need to read from the spreadsheet, which are the pending payments, right? So let's use something that we already saw before. We are using Google Sheets. I will use the action to find rows that are not paid. So how we do that? Checking the pay flag, right? So let me select the connection first. Let's select the spreadsheet, which is the same that we are working with, pending payments. Then sheet number 1. And now we need to indicate which is the column that we are using for the search. Okay, so in this case, we'll choose the paid. Okay, we are looking for the paid column. Okay, and the value that we are searching is if it is false. Good, perfect. So next we'll starting at the second row because the first one is the header. We again will put here 1000 to be sure that we are going through all the rows in the file. Okay, so that's all. Let me test it and see if we are finding the invoice that has not been paid. Good. It is in row number 2, and we have the value over here. Okay, good. Look at this is an array. So if we have more than one, we'll see here 2 payments. That is very easy. We can just update here. Let's remove what we did in the first spot. So now we have 2 unpayment invoices. So let's go here. Let me try to reset this test. And now we'll see that we have row number 2. Okay, it's still taking the row number 2 because I haven't put false over here. Perfect. Now let's retest, and we see that we have more than 1 notifications to be sent. Okay, good. Now it's working. So we have row number 2 and row number 5. Okay, one is for 500 and the other is for $100. Good. Now we need to process the results to send these messages. So let me add now, and we'll introduce something new here, which is a loop. Okay, we'll be using a loop if we want to do this process for each row or for each invoice that has not been paid. So first I need to configure it here, which is the item that will be looping. Okay, this basically is the find rows. Okay, so I'll be adding find rows to the items. This is a list, so this is why I'm selecting this. The result in this case is a list. And then what I have to do is to send a notification, just that. I'll use Twilio, as I mentioned. Hopefully you are familiar with it. In this case, I'm able to send SMS messages. I will select my trial connection that I have with Twilio. Good. I need to set up a form. When you set up an account in Twilio, it gives you a phone number. Okay. And now the most important here is to put the body message. Okay. I have the body message already written over here, but I have to do some task. Okay. So to put the information that I want from this message. So in this case, you can see that the message will start with please pay invoice. We are not being so kind in this way, but it's just an example. Please pay invoice number, and we need to establish here the invoice number that we have read from the file. So in this case, we go through the loop items. We go to the items. And now I have to establish the value. Okay, so I have to put values. And in this case, for the first one is the value that is in column A. Okay, so I confirm this, and you can see that I have it already established. So I can remove this placeholder. Then I have to do the same for the value of the invoice. So in this case, I will also change over here. In this case, it's the values that are in column B. Okay, this is what I'm doing, just setting up the values there. So I will choose the item, the values, and in this case is the B. Okay, confirm. We have the B over here. Let's delete this placeholder. Then we have before, this is the due date of the invoice. So again, we go through items, and in this case is values. And the C. Okay, C column. So let's confirm. Perfect. And then let's delete this information over here. Good. So now we have to establish to who we are sending this these messages. We are sending SMS messages. So in this case, the information is also here in the loops, is also in the items. In this case, is the column G. Okay, so let's put values dot G. Okay, if you are lost with this exercise, I can show you very quick the spreadsheet. You can see that we have the invoice number in the A, the B is the amount, the due date is in the C, and the phone number is in the G. Okay, so let's go back to here. Now we are ready to test, but first let me unlock my phone so you can see my phone here mirrored on the screen. You can see it here where we'll be receiving the notifications. Okay, so let me test over here. Remember, we have 2 notifications here. So let's test it. Okay, it was successful. Let's pull my phone over here. Let's wait for a little bit. And it should receive the SMS messages. So let me check. This is live. Okay, connection close. Let me just refresh and try it again, just in case we lost some connection. We are working with this one. Okay, I have received the messages over here. You can see we have one message from 100. Okay, so it's working a little bit slow. You can see that sent from Twilio trial account. Please pay the invoice number for a total of 100. Okay, so this is what happened here. We should be waiting for a second one. Okay, but something is working slow right now. Okay, good. So basically, this is the example. Obviously, we can use other kind of systems. We can use emails, whatever you are looking for to send reminders. Good. So with that, let me move my phone to another place, and let's rename this as bot number 2. And this is the second example. Okay. Good. So we have more. So we have the third bot that I'll show you. In this case, I'm not building from scratch. I just will show you how the bot looks like. It is simple to create, but has a lot of steps. In this case, it's about an approval process where we'll work with a human and with AI. Okay. So now you are very familiar with how we build this. So let me just tell you what we are doing here. We are checking for emails to come in. Sorry, using the connection to ElectroNeek. We are looking for subjects on the emails that are loan requests. So we are approving or rejecting loan requests. Okay, maybe this is extreme. Maybe you want to monitor it more closely, but think about any approval process that you have in your company, like even people requesting vacations. Okay, so you can automate that process too. Okay, so good. So we are looking for this. Also, unread emails. Good. Then what we'll do, same as we did before, we'll use OpenAI, okay, to ask some questions about the request. Okay, but this is very, very important because we are analyzing the information of the request and making a decision. So we are giving OpenAI to take a decision for us. Okay, so in this case, the prompt has more work on it, and it says, act as financial analyst. You receive the following email. We are providing the same way that we did before. The content of the email, the message that we received, determine whether to approve or reject this request based on the following criteria. So we need to be very clear here. So for loans higher than $50,000, the credit score should be higher than 850. And if it is between 750 and 850, ask for human approval. So do not approve that loan. And we are also telling them that the AI, if for loans that are lower than 5,000, approve always, unless the payment behavior is terrible. So all of this information must be included in the email, and I show you in a moment. If their payment behavior is regular or worse, always request human approval. Now we need to specify how we want to receive that answer. So reply with only one word. Okay, we are very clear here. Approve, reject, or human. So we'll use human when we need to request human approval. So this is why we are combining both the AI and the human. Then we establish the same temperature as before, and that's all. Okay, so when analyzing the information, we'll see that information. If depending on the results, we are having here, putting here a conditional, which will create two branches, and we are asking if the result of the analysis that ChatGPT did match exactly with the word human. Okay, if it is human, that means that the AI was not able to approve the request, and we require a human to approve manually. So for that, we are using another activity, which is approval. It's over here to create two links to approve or reject, and that will be used only with this process. Then we'll send a message with Gmail to the human approval, the manager, the leader of some area, whatever. We need to send an email, and we include a text. Okay, if we see over here, request for loan approval, it will be the subject, and we are providing here the body of the message in HTML format, so we can see it very nice in the email when it's arrived. We'll include the content of the email and then the two links: we approve or disapprove or reject. Okay. Once we send the email, the bot will wait for the action of the human. We'll wait for the human to approve or reject. Once we receive an answer, we include also another conditional here. If it is approved, it means that the answer will be true. If it is false, it was denied or rejected. Then we send an email saying it was approved, it was rejected. Good. Same way, if it was not human, we'll check if it was approved. If it was approved, we'll send an email saying your loan was approved. If it's not, we'll say it wasn't approved. Okay, so very simple flow, but takes a lot of time to create because you need to do a lot of checks and send emails to everyone. Okay, so let me now show you which is this approval request, which is the form of this approval request. We can see it over here. Loan request, we have two ones, one that will be approved, one that will be disapproved, so you can see how it works. In this case, we are sending the name, it's Sean Doe, credit score is 700. The payment behavior, all the payments were paid on time, so no late pay. And the amount that it is requesting is 5,000. It's not that much, okay? So let's mark this as unread. Let me go through here. Let me, in this case, load that ticket. Okay, let me just refresh so we can get the fresh connection over here. We are working with the payment, the approval process over here. So let's load the first email that we have marked as unread, and let's test this flow and see what's the result. Okay, so same way. Obviously, this, if we publish this and enable this will be launched every time that we receive an email. You can see that everything seems to be work perfectly. We can see here which are the steps that this flow follows. So this was okay, this was okay. Seems to be approved or rejected automatically. It was yes, so it was approved automatically. Okay, and that is our end of the execution of this bot. So let me exit the run mode. Let me show you what we have in our email. So let me refresh over here. And we received the email saying, okay, it was approved, okay, automatically by approval AI interior bots. Okay, and here are the details of the request. Good, perfect. We didn't do anything. Good. So let me move back, and now I'll change this. Let me just delete this answer from here. I will mark as read this example, and I will use the second example. In this case, you can see that the credit score is very low, and the amount of the loan is requesting is $50,000, which was there in the corner of what we mentioned the AI to do. Okay, so let's go back, move back. Let me mark this as unread. Okay, and let's go back here. Load the new data. Good, we have this, and let's test this flow again. Perfect. Let's go. Excellent. So look at this. Now we are seeing different results. We are seeing that this branch is paused. Okay, so every step was okay. This is paused. Okay, okay, okay. And we are waiting for the approval. Why? Because the AI decided that this requires human intervention. If you see here, how is the flow? Started here. Execute this one, and now it's waiting for approval. This means that we have received an email to approve or reject this loan request. Good. So let me refresh here to see the coming email. Good. We have it here. Request for loan approval. So we are acting as managers that needs to approve or reject. We have the information of the request to take a decision. We are saying, okay, low credit score, a low amount of money, we want to reject. So now I have to approve or reject. I'll be rejecting this request. Good. The answer was processed. Let's go back to here. And you can see that now everything was completed. There is no pause here. If we check the brand, we choose after we approve, it was the no. Okay, it was rejected. So let me exit the run over here and show you what we have in the inbox. Let me refresh over here. And we see loan request was rejected, right? It was rejected by a human manager in this case. Good. So with that, we have shown a very nice, interesting use case where you can apply today or tomorrow to, automate these approval processes. Maybe there are some processes actually in your company that requires a lot of approval steps. Now we can put AI in the middle to, minimize the amount of approval requests that person can receive. Okay, so this is basically what we want to show over here. Good. So we have two more examples. Hope you are enjoying them. Okay, and you're following me very well on this one. Bot number 4 is about integration with the CRM. Okay, so in this case, let me move back over here. I won't be creating it. It's very simple. It's just 2 activities. I have one over here that is already created. We'll be using HubSpot and Slack. Okay, so basically, and this is something very simple that we are using. In this case, we are using it with Salesforce, but it can be done with Salesforce, with HubSpot, or other CRMs. Every time that someone on our sales team creates a deal, it will be informed in a specific Slack channel. Okay, what is the objective of this? Is that the people that requires to work with that information have the information right away and can analyze the deal, can suggest changes, can suggest a plan of actions, so he can prepare for the next step. We can say, okay, we just created this new deal, and we have this system sales engineers that need to prepare presentations, or someone that needs to send some documentation. So this is part of the objective of this exercise. Okay, so in this case, we have a trigger, which is a new deal. If we click over here, we can see that we have connected to a HubSpot connection, the HubSpot application that is over here. This is a test environment. You can see that we have several deals already created. Okay, so every time that a new deal will be created, this bot will be triggered, and then what we'll do, we'll send a message to a channel, which is using this Slack connection, that the channel is test, okay? And the information that I'm sending is the one that I have received from this trigger, which will be the deal name, the stage in which this deal is, the deal amount that was pre-established, and the close date that was set on that deal, okay? Good, that's all that we need to make it work. So let's test it before, load the information from here. If we are receiving a new deal information, we have, this will pull the last deal that we have created. Okay, we can see it over here. The deal name is Diego Test. Okay, so we see all the information over here. And the next step, we'll send the information to an Slack channel. I have my Slack channel over here. Let me show you right away. This is our production Slack, and you'll see how the information will be up over here, posted over here. So let me retest this Slack channel, and this seems to be working great. Let me look for Slack, and you can see this is the last message that we received. This is my local time and the information of the deal. Diego Test, stage, deal amount, and the close date. Okay, so this is how this works. We have the deal over there. If we publish this and we enable every time that we create a new deal from here, doing create the deal, clean up here the information, it will trigger the bot and send the message. Perfect. Good. So we are almost there. So now we have our last bot example, which is for customer support. So we are talking about a bot that will create tickets based on emails that we receive in a mailbox. Okay. So in this case, we are using not only the new the Gmail activity, we're using also OpenAI, and we are using Zendesk to create this ticket or issue in the Zendesk application. So you can see that we have here the Zendesk application. There is no new ticket already created. This is obviously the demo environment. It's not production. So now we'll work on this workflow. So first of all, same as before, we are starting this with reading emails, which the subject is support request, and it is marked as unread. Okay, what we'll do with this information, we'll send to AskAI with a new prompt, with a new question. In this case, we are telling them to act as support agent. You are reviewing emails and opening new tickets in Zendesk with the content of those emails. You receive an email from, we are putting here the sender of the email that we have received, obviously taking the information from this previous activity that we have tested, with the subject of that email, and the following body. We are putting here the content of that email. So we are asking AI to do that based on this information, determine the nature of the problem, and return ticket content. The subject, title describing the issue. This is what we are setting up in our Zendesk ticket. The body, short paragraph explaining what the issue is and the expected solution. So we are not just getting this information and inserting into Zendesk. We are asking GPT to interpret, to analyze the information and provide a better explanation, and also the expected result or resolution. Then we are, again, being clear what we need from it. So return it in comma-separated format as in this example. First the subject, then the body. These are the two pieces of data that we need to create an issue in Zendesk. Okay. So we are also using this auxiliary activity to separate those values, so we can point to those values very easy when using this connection to the Zendesk. Here we have the Zendesk activity. We have selected the actions to create an issue. We have here the connection. In this case, you can do the connection with using single sign-on, very easy. Then we are informing which is the subject or the issue subject for the ticket and the comment. Okay, this is the result of our OpenAI. Okay, and this will create the ticket. So let's test this. Let's load first the data. Let me show you the email that we are using to work with this one, which is support request. Okay, so we can see over here that this is an email that is asking the support team help on resetting my Active Directory password. My user is Ramos. Please, this is urgent. Okay, so basically the bot will be reading this email, analyzing the information, and creating the ticket in the Zendesk that we have over there. Good. So let's first load the data from the inbox. It's taking a little bit of time, but let's wait a little bit more. Then we'll run the bot so we can see how the ticket is created. So let me just refresh. I think that I spoke a lot. Let me just check again. The index demo. This activity, load data. Good, we have the data already loaded. Okay, so then we will ask GPT. We can test this one also and see the answer that we have. We'll receive a text with all the information that is being analyzed with the result of first the subject for the ticket, and then we can see here after the comma the content for the ticket. Okay, so then we can here split it in order to select the information. You can see that we have two separate lines with the subject and with the description. And now we can create the ticket when we test this step. Okay, so let's test it. Okay, it was successful. It's saying that it was created. We don't need to analyze this information. This is the answer that is coming from the integration with Zendesk. So let's check now. Here, let's refresh over here if we have a new ticket. It's coming here. Good. We have an unassigned ticket. You can see that was created less than a minute ago with the information that extracted from the email. If we open the ticket, we can see Active Directory password reset request for user Ramos. Very clear that what we need to do. And then the description. Ivan Ramos, information about him, has requested Origin Assistant with resetting his Active Directory password. His username is iRamos. He expects support team to guide him through the password reset process or perform the reset on his behalf. Okay, so I think that is very clear, more elaborated than what we received in the original email. Okay, so with that, we covered the 5 tasks that we were planning to automate. Hopefully you found those useful. So now we are opening for questions.
Wonderful. Thank you, Diego, for showing that the IntegraBots feature and all the things that it can do. And I know that it can do a lot more. But one of the things that we do have is a lot of questions that are coming in that we even gathered before. So with that, here's some questions for you, Diego. And one of the questions is there any limit to the number of steps with the IntegraBot?
Yeah, there is no limit on the number of steps that you can use, and you don't have to pay per step. Okay, so that's something that differs with other applications or tools that are outside in the market, that we do not depend on how many steps you are executing. So we are not charging you for those steps. So you are free to create the workflow that you need. You see that we can put conditions, loops, so we can analyze all the information to take the right decision. So it doesn't matter how many steps you do.
Wonderful. Now, another question that we probably do have another slide after this one, is IntegraBots available in the Community Edition?
Yes, it is. It is available there. Yes, so you can test it. We'll show the QR code so you can download the Community Edition, but yes, it's available. So all the features that we have in the platform are available on the Community Edition. So everything that I have shown you, you can replicate. Okay.
Let's show them that QR code right now so they can go ahead and scanning it and then go directly to the Community Edition. And I was thinking about something as well. With that Community Edition, is Easily AI, is that also available in the Community Edition?
Yes. Easily AI for Studio Pro is available there. Yes, exactly. So you have credits to do testing without any problem.
Perfect. Now, with IntegraBots, here's another question that I received. You mentioned that no infrastructure is required to use IntegraBots. Where the bots run?
Good question. So Yes, I explained that. If you are familiar with other RPA platform, the RPA platform, including our Studio Pro, requests to have the bot runner agent to run the bots on our machines. Could be virtual machines, could be everywhere, but it's in customer environment. So in this case, IntegraBots allows you to run this bot in the ElectroNeek cloud. So you don't need to spend money on infrastructure to run these automations. Basically, that is the answer.
Great. And here's a question from Raphael. He asked, I work with financial company, and they're very keen on security to the point that many have lots of security questions or access to the internet. Could ElectroNeek work without access to the internet?
Without access, well, okay, yes, we can, not with IntegraBots. We have mentioned that this is pure on the internet, it's cloud. Okay, so in the case of these examples, you need to have a connection, okay? But we can work without connection if you are using our RPA platform, Studio Pro, where you can create the bots and launch the bots using bot runners outside the internet. It will depend. You need to check what kind of automation you want to do, if it requires to access some services outside your network or not. Okay, so that has to be analyzed. But yeah, there is an option to do that. Yes, there is an option.
Gotcha. So the answer is yes. ElectroNeek can work with that.
The answer is yes, but we need to check. What are you trying to do? Okay, so if everything is local, there is no problem. If you are using some kind of service that will analyze information to get the results, we need to see what you need.
That's a great question, Raphael. And I think that even to answer more questions, there's another slide about our automation experts. So if you want to show that slide as well, if you have any questions about how to automate your task, the opportunity to speak to one of our automation experts, capture the QR code right there, or just visit us at electroneek.com, and our team members can answer all those questions for you with our solution engineers, specifically for your use cases. And here's another question that we received, and that is, if the SaaS application, we already answered that one. So what's the difference between IntegraBots and Studio Pro RPA bots? Should I choose to purchase one or the other?
As I mentioned before, we with the RPA platform, so Studio Pro, you can work with any kind of applications, whether if they has a connection like an API or if it is a desktop application. It also can run in different environments. In the case of IntegraBots, we'll use exclusively integrate with application that has connectors, API. So the good thing about IntegraBots is you already have the integration done, okay? So that's easy for you to create and run, obviously, on the cloud. For the question is, you have to decide to purchase one or the other. That's not a problem because we include everything in the subscription. So even, as explained before, in the community edition, you have both. You don't need to choose. So for some use cases, you will prefer to use IntegraBots because it's easier, it's very light for you because you just create it and it is running on the cloud. Or sometimes you need to interact with SaaS applications on the web, but you need to integrate those with local applications. So you will be using both. You create the local stuff, the desktop applications with the RPA, and then use the integration platform to connect to the other activities. So you can do a mix, but you don't have to decide, so don't worry about that.
Here's another question, Diego, and this is from Sergio. The question is, are there any user tasks that RPA ElectroNeek can't resolve?
Could you repeat that question? Sorry.
Well, let me break it down for you. Is there anything ElectroNeek can't do?
Can't do, cannot do. Okay. I can say that almost everything can be automated. Remember that we are integrated with AI right now. So that has removed almost all barriers that we have. So now even if you need human judgment to decide something, as the example that we show, we can use and automate that task, obviously. So if it is on the desktop, if it is on the web, if it is a legacy application, we can automate with our set of features we have in our platform. We haven't touched anything about working with documents, but we can also work with documents. Okay, we had an event this week also on YouTube where we explain how to deal with documents. It is available on the web, so if you want to take a look, it is there. But yeah, the answer is I could say 99%. We can do everything.
That's right. And if you have any other in-depth questions, our automation experts just can answer all those for you. And the opportunity is that we're continuing to expand. We have a lot of different connections and we're expanding those connections even more. So the opportunity for you is just to get involved and sign up for our community edition. And then, I was thinking this, Diego, one of the things that we want to do is continue to give more value to everyone, especially those on the call. And especially those people who are listening in on LinkedIn and here on the call today, is that you saw the prompts that Diego was using. And so what I want to do is, if you want to have the ElectroNeek cheat sheet of prompts that can be used inside of our application, go ahead and connect with me on LinkedIn. My name's Kendall Matthews. I'm easy to find. And then connect with me and I will give you the cheat sheet of the 10 ElectroNeek prompts that actually work inside of the application for you. And I'll give you those right off the bat. And then also some of our bot library. So the top used bots that we have in our bot library, I'll let you know, give you information about that as well. So connect with me online on LinkedIn and I'll provide that information for you. So great information for these bots that actually work inside of the platform. We do have one more question here, and that is, let me check this question for you. How to get a security pass when you work in another third-party company that they don't provide them to make internal bots? And that's from Sergio.
Yeah, so let me think about that question. So you are automating for a third party, right? Good. So in that case, if you are doing an automation for a third party, you may want to use Studio Pro to do that. One of the important features that Studio Pro has is that the bot that you are building will run in the customer environment. Okay, so you will never receive any credentials to use that third party or in customer application. They have the ability to set up locally on the computer where the bot will run. So if you have any API key, any token that can be configured in the machine or the virtual machine that will live in the customer environment and will run the bot. Okay, so I think that that's the best answer that I can give you if I understood the question. Okay.
Wonderful. Well, everyone, thank you for being on this presentation for our newest feature, IntegraBots. We have a lot more for you. So continue to follow us online. Continue to register for our upcoming events that we have, because we're going to make sure we're providing a lot of value, a lot of guidance for you. And of course, if you just want to try us out, just become happily involved with ElectroNeek, try our community edition today so you can be able to see exactly what we're talking about, so you can play around with and understand the value that we can bring instantly for you. So my name is Kendall Matthews, and for Diego, happy automation, and we'll talk to everyone soon.
Thank you.